Hi, I'm Dave from boyinaband.com, and welcome to day 4 of my 7-day song tutorial on drum and bass. Yesterday we made a sweet lead synth to go over our beat, and today we'll be putting together some pads to fill out our song and introduce some techniques like gating to add more interest to them. Okay, let's begin. Right click and create a combinator and name it gated pad. Can you guess what we're going to make in it? Right click, create Thor polysonic synthesizer. Initialize it and make a 3-octave spread of saw waves, all a little bit detuned, to thicken them up, and run them through with the 2 and 3 buttons. Now, I'll just put in some notes so we can hear this synth build up. Okay, let's have a bit of a listen. So now. I'll just say a bit about making chords for pads. 2 musical techniques I use a lot are using octaves, like here, to make the pad bigger, and also using thirds to make them beautifully melodic. Yeah, so I've got this D octave at the start here, just to make it kick in quite powerfully, and then I hold a lot of musical tension throughout the phrase by keeping the root note of G here held for most of it. And at the end here I've got the 2 thirds, which is where you use the root note and the third note in the key for a chord. Thirds are pretty much a surefire way to make gorgeous music. Back to the synth patch. Turn the filter into a state variable one on high pass and set the frequency to about 350 Hz. So we get rid of that low end. Yeah, that'll do. And resonance up to about 80, just takes the edge off. Now, hit the chorus and delay. Tempo syncing always is a good idea. It makes things fit in a bit better. That just widens the sound a bit, and turn the envelope sustain up to full, so it doesn't lose any volume over time. Now, we've got the basis of our pad. We want to gate it now, so right click and create a matrix pattern sequencer. Now this is going to gate our pad and add a bit of pace to it, so move the curve mode move the mode to curve mode rather, and turn the resolution, make sure it's on 1/16, so we're going to go quite slow for this one. And look at the back, press the tab key, and take out the gate and note CVs, change it to bipolar, and take the curve CV up to amp level. Now that's going to be gating our pad. It's basically saying that whenever there is something up here, let the volume through, and when there is something down here, don't. So if we have a listen by pressing the run button, you can hear we've got the pad coming through whenever the bars are at the top. So if we just make a pattern like this, and make sure you click the run button so it works, otherwise it'll just stay as normal. Now, there's our sweet gated pad. To make the effect more defined, take the gain down on the low shelf. So we're going to create an M-class equalizer. Here's the low shelf, just take the gain right down. And maybe widen the Q a bit. That's the bandwidth. And with param 1, take the gain down again and widen the Q. And with param 2, boost around 2.5 kHz, about a quarter. Let's widen that. Maybe take this up a little bit. And yeah, let's just take up the high shelf just to brighten the tone again. Now, one final improvement to make. Right click, create M-class stereo imager. Now, take this down to 300-ish hertz and widen the high band. Now have a listen to the difference. Without and with. Much wider and more powerful. Okay, now I'll make a beat for the verse. The difference between the chorus and the verse is mainly going to be the snare. To keep it chilled, a less punchy and more snappy snare is better. So right click and create a combinator, name it verse loop, and put a Dr. Rex instance inside, and select the loop you want. I'm going to select one from the drum and bass drum loops pack again, and I think it was the Plex break I liked. Yeah, nice and chilled. So if we have a listen to that at the tempo of the song, that's pretty cool. Now I'll explain how to cut up the loop. If we have a look down here in the sequencer window and zoom out a little bit, I'll just select a new section for our verse, and I'll right click on Dr. X and copy the pattern to track. Now if we have a listen now, it's all set up down here. Now if we double click on one of these and start moving some of these notes around, you'll be able to hear that the loop changes with it. There we go. But yeah, each of these notes is related to a different slice in the Dr. Rex loop. So you can define when each different part of the loop is played in that way. So I'm just going to make a loop now. Okay, let's have a listen to what I've made. See how I've made it trip up there on the 4th and also here on the 8th beats. That's just to make it a bit more interesting. So, we have our new beat. Let's make a nice bassy pad to go over the top and make it really chilled. If we have something bassy and something high-pitched, the difference in frequencies will really fill it out, and pads are always good for chilled music. So,